Hey everybody, this is Abong Eka. Real quick today, I want to remind you about the importance of complaint and not complaining. And you're probably wondering why that matters. If someone complains to me, I just ignore them. But if you understand the nuance of complaints and why it's so dangerous, you'll know how to deal with it as people start to complain to you. So, for example, you go to the store, somebody is mean to you, they're not smiling, they say your name wrong, they say something, some crazy stuff, whatever, they maybe curse you out, whatever it is. You first came into that store in a good mood, and then when you end up leaving, you end up in a bad mood. So the whole point I want to make is that energy, emotions are transferable. What you say to people, how you behave is transferable to others. If you're in a good mood, if you're smiling, the people you come in contact with will do the same. So what does that mean with complaint? Complaint is the same thing as well as people saying good things. So when someone's complaining about something that's going on in their lives, and hold on, you know the difference between complaint and something bad happening. Two totally different things. Everybody who's watching this video has a friend out there or several friends or a family member who's always on the phone with complaints, talking about the nuance, little things that don't matter, insignificant shit that happens in their lives and they're complaining about. This guy was mean to me, this guy said this to me, things that as a grown-up you should be able to handle and move on with what you're trying to do on this earth. When you're lying on your deathbed, the last thing you'll be thinking about, if at all, is that person who cut you off in traffic or the guy who flipped you off or some other nonsense. The bigger thing is this. When you have perspective, when your perspective is different, your outcomes are different, your rewards are different, your life is different, the things you do in life become different. The way you see the world becomes different. The glasses you wear become different. And you're no longer stuck in a place, in an unfulfilling cycle of shit and nonsense and complaint and sadness. You got to understand something. Everybody has trees in their lives, right? And trees are very similar. Obviously, it's an organism that requires sunlight and fertilization and nutrients. Some people have shit trees, some people have great trees. The people who are producing great things on this planet, they have trees that yield amazing fruit. And there are those who have very tall trees, but they're filled with negativity, rotting wood, woodpeckers, people pissing all over the tree all the time. And all they produce is negative fruit. When I'm around people who feel that way, who behave that way, it's abhorrent to me and I remove myself from the situation. Now, why is that? You got to be very clear because, one, I know energy is transferable. Two, I know my time is limited on this planet. And three, I have a lot of stuff to do. And I cannot accomplish anything on this planet that I need to do for whatever my purpose and my dreams are if I'm being distracted by negativity, if I'm being distracted by complaints, if I'm taking on the persona of complaints. I have to be really careful to protect not only my mind, my body, and my spirit. And so for those who are watching today, I wanna challenge you today to do the same. When you feel the urge to complain, and you know the difference between complaint and bad things happening to you. When you're complaining about that coworker, about that spouse, about that friend, that's just a complaint because it's the same thing that's been happening. All you're doing is voicing your frustration and you're not doing anything about it. It's one thing to mention something happening. It's another thing to complain about it. You guys know the difference. So don't comment on my timeline or my YouTube video telling me that I'm right there. I don't want to hear that. You know the difference. So what I want you to think about and what I want to challenge you to do is to take a look at the things that you used to complain about and ask yourself, how does this serve me? Does this serve me in a positive way? Am I going to be able to overcome this obstacle or this challenge because I'm dealing with this kind of stuff? Or am I going to be stuck complaining like everybody else? I've never met a person who's been successful in their lives in anything, sports, athletics, business, whatever you want to call it, whose daily diet of life is complaints, whose daily behavior in life is to complain. They just don't. And that's why they're rewarded with success. And it's not just money, just success in other areas. Relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Any successful person you know, they don't complain because they understand with the perspective it has to be different for their outcomes to be different. Their time is limited and complaint never serves them. And it shouldn't serve you either.